let's touch on these standings with 6 races to go before the playoffs. We talked about them last week. You had said that Chase Elliott, there was no way that he was not going to make the playoffs, at least on points. And another race down, and he still finds himself 60 out.
What's the official number?
Travis can help me out here.
He's still 60 out. And let me give you this, Denny. Go
Okay.
Before this race, the biggest margin of deficit someone had overcome to get in on points was 2.
This is crazy.
That's a stupid stat.
Now it's
Did
not.
Russell give you that?
He did.
I appreciate it because it's true, but what a stupid stat. Like that. That's like, oh my gosh, he's 3 points. He would make history if someone from 3 points back made the playoffs. I mean, so here's my argument, right? If you look at what the cut, let's say the 16th place driver, they probably averaged 25 points a race. That's a fairly educated estimate. So 25 points a race.
So real quick, not counting stage points, where do you need to finish in the race to earn 25 points for people who don't know?
Okay, good question, Jared. Very good. So it's 35 for second, and then 1 point per position. So what is that, 11th?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say it's 11th. So you got to finish 11th with no stage points. That's about where 16th is running, right? I mean, sometimes they finish a little better. They get a stage point or 2. So you got to be 11th to get 25 points. The reason I was so adamant about Chase Elliott being able to make it on points is because he is a guy who can get 50 in a race. And we have 2 road courses coming up. He's won there, Watkins Glen, many times. He could put a 50 spot up easily. So he can, in 2 races, do what the 16th place guy does in 4 races. Do I feel all warm and fuzzy about my prediction now? He didn't do me any favors. That's for sure. He still makes it. I'm going to die on this hill. Chase Elliott is still going to make it, but I think it's going to be because he wins.
To play devil's advocate about Chase or about any of these drivers that are significantly below the cut line, and by significant, I'm saying anything in the double digits, is that you just can't afford to have any off weeks, right? If you're going to need to put up 50 points 2 to 3 times, you're not going to be able to afford to lose points. Like, you're not going to be able to afford to go into a race weekend like this one and not pick up any ground.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
That's what's going to be tough. And you
especially
always,
considering you have Daytona as the one race before.
And you always, yeah, right. So I said it in the media. You always have to budget for one more winner from the outside. Mm-hmm. You know, it's when you set your goals for the year, you budget a certain amount of people making it. And in the situation of the guys that we're talking about on this cut line, the 4 or 5 that it is that are relatively somewhat close, they're hoping there's not a new winner, but they're probably budgeting for it. They're probably looking at is Bubba Wallace
15th currently?
15th. They're probably looking at where he's at, or whoever's in 15th. Because if you just work off of 16th, you're probably going to get roasted in the final race at Daytona. You just have to plan for it. Is it likely? Actually, no, it's not. But you still have to plan for it. It's the race that's got the biggest X factor of attrition, and anyone can win. So I don't know. I still think Chase makes it, but I think he makes it because he wins a race. But I mean, looking at the guys that he's got to run down, you know, they're not just getting 25 points every week either. Like, they can have a bad race and leave the racetrack with 3 points. He puts up 50, boom, he's down 20-something in 1 week. Like, it can happen that fast. Trust me, it can happen that fast. I know I'm not going to give up till after this week.
I wouldn't give up on pointing himself in.
Chase Elliott fans, let's hold hands. We're gonna unite, and we're gonna will this thing to happen for you guys.
Travis, I'm gonna need that clip tomorrow morning.
Yeah, let's just. Trust me. They're saying prayers for him. They got the battery cables hooked up to the 69 Ford pickup truck, just ready to ring that siren. I wonder, will they ring it if he makes the playoffs?
I think so, because I think the way he's going to make the playoffs is he's going to win Watkins Glen, and then they'll ring it.
Awesome. You can be for sure of one thing: his teammates are going to let him go at every turn.
Minus Bowman.
Why? Because
Bowman can't let him go.
Bowman's in the same situation.
Yeah. Well, you won't have a situation like last year where Larson, used him up kind of. Let's restart. That won't happen for sure. All right. Well, hey, still rooting for you guys. Not to beat Bubba. Don't beat Bubba, please.
He's another guy we need to talk about.
Beat the rest of the guys.
Bubba's another one we got to talk about on this cut line because he was below it last week. Now he's above it into 15th after a top 10 day.
Yep. He had a solid day. They had, him and the 45, they put together a solid race. I haven't completely gone through their day yet. Again, I just got home. But they didn't have anything detrimental to happen to them. I saw that Tyler lost a few spots first pit stop, but Bubba, I was racing around him a little bit during the day, but yeah, I mean, those are the solid days that you got to have them. Right now, they've got to have these kind of days where they pick up 5 stage points, somewhere in that range, then go finish 7 to 10. I get it. You want to go for the gusto. You want to go get a top 5. You want to go win the race. He wasn't going to win the race today. There was just the 19 was too strong, right? You have to just manage the race, manage your expectations, and get a solid day. And trust me, they're leaving home or leaving the racetrack feeling a lot better than they did, coming in.
Michael McDowell's another one who said last week that he really just wanted to go into New Hampshire, have a top 15 finish because it wasn't one of their best tracks, and he did that. He stayed above the cut line. Yeah,
that team's scratching and clawing. I mean, like the minute you think, well, they're not a big team, they're not gonna have enough speed. Like they show up with speed, and so Michael's doing a fabulous job. I think that front row in general deserves a lot of credit for stepping up this year, especially in a year where clearly, the manufacturer itself is not at its peak form. So I think that they're doing a phenomenal job. They're executing well, and Michael's driving the wheels off of it.